Hello everyone and welcome to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. We're glad you're tuned in. We want to give a shout out to our friends at Southern Oregon PBS, KTVL, KDRV, and the Dove Network. Thank you for hosting us on your station. In the Medford School District, we have one shared vision, and that we believe that all are learning, and learning is for all. And what better place to do that than right here on Medford Anywhere Learning TV.
Today, we're going to be learning about ourselves. We're going to be talking about a lesson that I titled, Where You Are. And that's because this is really unusual time. We are having the opportunity to be home more, but it also means that you might be facing some challenges you haven't faced in a while. So learning how to problem solve and relate with our siblings and our parents. So kiddos at home, get yourself situated in a position where you can do a little check-in with your body. That's what we're going to start with today. We're going to check in with our body and make sure that we're ready to receive my lesson. So I brought a special tool today, and the tool that I brought is my chime. I know a lot of teachers like to use chimes in their classroom, so maybe you've seen them with one chime, or maybe you've seen them like mine with 3. But we're going to do just a little activity where I'm going to ring the chime with my little stick that I have here. And each time you hear one of the chimes, I want you to just take a deep breath and check in with a different part of your body. So we're going to check in with how we feel sitting in our body. We're going to check in with our brain and where our thoughts are. And then we're going to check in with our breathing and how our lungs are feeling. Okay, are you ready? And I will guide you with my words. So here comes the first chime. Check in with where your body is. Are you comfortable? Are you seated? Let's do a check-in with our brains. Do you have scrambling thoughts in your head, or are you trying to calm down? And let's do our last one. Let's check in with our breath. Let's take one deep breath as you hear this chime. Awesome. Hopefully you feel ready now for the next part of my lesson. We're back, kiddos, and I have some fun books that I brought for us today, and they are all poetry books. Do you know about poems? I know that April was National Poetry Month, and because we were at home, I didn't have a chance to share all of my fun poem books with my students. So I thought today it would be really fun to bring my poem books in between some activities that we do together where we're checking in with our bodies, that we get to read poems. All right, this poem that I will read to you today is called Glue. And as I read it, I want you to think about how you're doing at home right now. If you have siblings, you might feel the same way that this girl feels in this poem. Are you ready? He sticks to me like glue sometimes. He never lets me be. No matter what I'm doing, it seems he'll never leave. He knocks down all my towers. He stomps on all my toys. And all Mom has to say is, he's such a crazy boy. He pulls my hair. He steals my cup. He climbs all over me. He sticks to me like glue sometimes. He never lets me be. But then he dances and he spins and he sings a funny song. It makes me laugh and I spin too. I even sing along. He shares half-eaten crackers and he hugs me when I'm sad. I guess as far as brothers go, he's really not so bad. So if this is what it means to be a family, then stuck together like glue sometimes is the perfect way to be. I like that poem. It makes me think of my 2 boys at home. I have a son named Jack, he's 6, and I have a little boy named Charlie, he's 2. And I think they both would say that they feel stuck like glue sometimes. Do you feel like that too? Yeah, it is kind of hard to be together so much when you're used to having your activities that you go to or school and your parents go to work. And so sometimes you have that feeling like you just want them to maybe be away from you so you can have some alone time. But then there's other times where you get to do silly, fun things together, and that feels really great to have somebody special to do it with. So I thought this was a fun poem to bring to you today so you could try to think about what it's like to be around all those other people at home. Thanks for listening. So, with checking in with ourselves, we also need to check in with how we're relating with others, like all the other people at our house. And I know when things are feeling kind of crazy and wackadoo at my house, one of the things we like to do is to pull out a board game. So, I brought a really special board game that we're going to play today. And maybe you have games at home, or maybe your family likes to play games but isn't sure what kind of games to get for your family. So I thought I would bring this really special game and I will introduce it to you here in just a minute. So here is the game that I wanted to introduce to you today. It is by a company called Peaceable Kingdom, and they make these amazing games that are called cooperative games. And what's so cool about this for families at home is that they don't have just one winner. Everybody is working together for the same goal. And this one is called Race to the Treasure, and it is a board game. Now, it does say that ages 5 plus, 2 to 4 players in about 20 minutes, but my game's going to go a little bit faster because I'm playing by myself to introduce it to you. And let's look at what the pieces are in the board, in the box. So we have a board game, and I make some noticings about this board. I see that there's a start, I see that there's an end, and across the top we have letters, A, B, C, D, E, F. And across the side or column, we have numbers. This reminds me of some things that we see in math sometimes, something called graph paper, and we can call these coordinates. And so I will be showing you how to use these coordinates. I also see some spots that are labeled key, and there's 3 of them. It looks like we need 3 keys, and I see this really cool treasure pouch that has 3 locks on it, and so that must need all of the keys. And then we have the ogre's path. So I shuffled up this stack of cards before I put it here, but I did leave a few out so we could see some examples about what we're going to see. Inside, we're going to see maybe some little ogres, and we don't want those ogres because the ogre, if he reaches the treasure first, that means he is the winner. And we're also going to find some path cards. The path cards can be joined together in any shape you want on the board. And so we'll have some decision making to make. And when you're playing with your brothers and sisters or your cousins or your friends or aunties or uncles or your parents, everybody who takes a turn to draw a card gets to decide for themselves how they want to place the pieces on the board. And we'll talk about what the goal of the game is in just a moment. So I'm going to shuffle these into my card stack here. And the other thing to know about this game is that we have to do what's called a preset. Preset means that we need to set some things up before we can start playing. So the preset involves this die and this little token that says Ogre Snacks and these 4 keys. Now wait a minute. We learned we only needed 3 keys, but they gave us 4. Oh, thank you so much, Peaceful Kingdom. They're being really nice and allowing us some opportunity to be successful in our game. So they give us 4 chances to get our 3 keys. So we need to roll our die and find out where it's going to go. Now, I will tell you something. There's supposed to be 2 dice for this game, but since we don't have the other die, I think my son Charlie lost it. But we're going to just go through. It's supposed to be a die that has the letters on it. So we'll just pick a letter and then we will roll which number it's going to go on. So I'm going to start with the letter A, and we will roll our die here. And so it's going to go on A5. So I need to first find the letter A. So here's A, and now I need to slide my finger down as I find the number 5. Bing, there it is. I'm going to put the first key there, and I think I'm going to skip over B. Let's pick the letter C this time, and I'll roll. Hey! We got another 5. So let's do that same thing. Let's go to the letter C and then find the number 5. You tell me when to stop. Did you tell me to stop? I hope so. All right, let's pick the letter E this time. Let's roll it. Let's hope we get a different number. Good, we got the number 3. Same thing, find the letter that we chose. We chose E. Slide our finger down. Bing. There's 3. We get to place one more. Let's pick the letter F for this one. Ooh, 1. Good. So F1. F, then slide your finger down. 1. The last thing we get to place is the ogre snacks. Now, if we get the ogre snacks, that means the ogre gets distracted for a little bit and he will stop moving toward the treasure. So the ogre snacks are something pretty important we might want to get so we can be a winner. Woo! That die rolled all the way off, but it was a 6. So let's put it in the letter D. D6. Here we go. Wow, we're going to have a long way to travel in order to be successful in finding our keys. So here's how the gameplay works. We want to try to collect 3 keys today, and we can pick any 3 keys. We also have the choice if we want to try to go for our ogre snacks too, but eventually we need to end right next to the end, the word that says end. And so now we're just going to take turns drawing cards. So I got a little shape that looks like a corner piece, so I'm going to put it on that start. And I'm going to have him pointing that way. That way someone can connect their path on either of those spots. Now, when you're playing at home, sometimes it's really hard, but we need to take turns. Taking turns is a really important part of game playing. So I see this path as kind of a straight line. So I have a choice to make. I could put it here and have my path going to the right. Maybe that would help me get this key. Or I could put my path here and have it go down to get this key. Do you know which way you would want to go? I think I'm going to go here. I think that feels better to me to get closer to some other keys. But if it was your brother deciding, you could let him decide and be okay with his decision. Oh no, look what I got. This is our ogre. So our ogre is on his path. He is wanting to race to that treasure just as fast as we're trying to race. So we hope that we don't get too many of those ogre cards because we don't want him to get there first. So turn taking is really important. We're going to keep going. Now, sometimes it's really hard to decide which way to go because, man, I thought we were going to keep going straight, but now we're turning. You know what? It's okay to take little detours on our path. And look at that. We got a really cool piece that kind of leads in all different directions. So I get to make a cool choice right now, and I get to decide which way I want to face. Let's see. If I do it that way, we can go up and down. If I go this way, we can go up and to the right. I can't go that way. But look what happens if I do this way. Oh, now I have more choice. I can go down or I can go to the right. I think that's a good choice for me. Now, game playing is kind of fun by yourself because you get to make all the choices. Oh no, there's another ogre. I hope he doesn't go too fast. But when playing by yourself, you do get to make all the choices. I think the hard part of playing games is when you have to share the different tools and work together. Do you ever have things that you do with your family that makes it harder because you have to share? Just this morning, my boys Jack and Charlie were arguing over who got the coolest Hot Wheels cars, so I know they battle with that too. Hey, look, we got like the best piece that we could get just now because when I connect it, now I can go to either side to collect those keys. We're in a good position right now, and we only have 1, 2 ogres that are standing in our way. So let's keep going. Now, just a reminder that I am going kind of quickly because I'm playing by myself and I can. So because I got to put a piece there, I now get to take this key and I'm going to put it in one of our key spots. So let's pretend we just opened up one of those locks. Yay, we're on our way. Let's keep going. Hey, look at that. Perfect. We still want to make sure our path leads us to the end, but we now only have 2 keys. We need 1 more key in order to open up the other one. Should we make our sound again? Do it with me. Got our second lock open. Now, what happens if the person you're playing with makes a mistake? Is that okay? I teach my students that it is a-okay to make mistakes, and that sometimes making mistakes is how we learn. That if it takes longer to get to the treasure and maybe the ogre wins, that's okay. That was a lesson that maybe next time we need to take a different path. But look at that. We did awesome. We got our third key. Yay, the treasure is open, and now it's just waiting for us to make our path down to the end. Let's see if we can do that. Here we go. Now if I go this way, I'm stuck. There's nowhere that I can put a token. So I think I have to put it either here or here to keep our path going. Which one would you decide on? I think I'm going to go sideways. I'm going to go horizontal. Horizontal means from left to right, from side to side. Aw, man, there's our ogre. That's okay. There's only 3 ogres. We're still doing a really good job. In game playing, it's really important to forgive yourself because it's just luck. There's another ogre. Ah! All right, Mr. Ogre, you stay there. Let's try to get another one that gets us on our path again. Here we go. Okay, I can see that path is kind of winding. I'm getting really excited. I think we're getting close to the treasure. Ah, man. Okay, Mr. Ogre, you stay there. We want to win. Yes. Oh, that feels so exciting to have the piece that we needed. Okay, we got a piece, and even though that path goes off to the side, I don't need that direction. I at least need one that's pointing down, so I feel pretty good about that. We are pointing down. We're ready to go. Oh no, look at this one. Now this is tricky. If I put this token here, we run out of luck and we're kind of stuck. So we would have to come either all the way over here, or we would have to just be done with the game. But I could turn it this way. I think we'll do that, and maybe we'll decide to get our ogre snacks. Let's see what we get next. Another bend. Let's see. Does that work? Oh, I'm starting to feel a little frustrated because I thought I was so close to winning and there's only 2 ogre spots left. Okay, it's okay. We're working together so I don't have to get frustrated, and maybe I can turn this in a different way. Well, that doesn't work. Keep trying. It's important to not give up. We want to keep trying. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, look. Yes, I'm so excited. Okay, that got us on our path again. Oh, that sneaky ogre. He's so close. Okay, if he gets to the treasure before us, he's the winner. Let's see what we get. Okay, please, please, please be a path. Yay. Okay, that was a perfect one. Look at it turns us there. We need 1, 2 more to get there, but so does the ogre. We are tied. It is a true race to the treasure. Let's see. No ogre. Aw, man, there's that ogre. Okay, he's not there yet. He's not there yet. We can do it. Let's see if we do. Oh, wah, 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 wah. That is okay. You know what? We worked really hard at our path, and I am so proud that we collected our 3 keys, and we also made this incredible path. And so what I would teach my students and what I would want to teach you here at home is that it is a-okay to not win or to not win the first time. What's really, really important though is to not give up. And so what I would tell my students to say is, that was really fun. Let's do it again. Are you up for another game? If you are at home, then maybe talk to your parents again about getting this game. And it is called Race to the Treasure. And there are other cooperative games by this same company, Peaceable Kingdom. But I hope even if you're not able to get that game, I hope you had fun watching me today and helping me problem solve as we tried to race this sneaky ogre. Good job, ogre. We'll play again next time. We're back with another little poetry break. And this book is by an author named Shel Silverstein. Isn't that a cool name? Shel Silverstein, when he was alive, wrote several different books of poetry. And I know that there are 2 that are my very, very favorites. And this is one of them. So this one is called Where the Sidewalk Ends. And he even does his own pictures. So the poem that I brought to you today is called Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me, Too. And it is about 3 little characters he created, and those are their names. ickle me, pickle me, and tickle me. Isn't that crazy? I love hearing the sounds that these words are making. So let's read this poem. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray! What fun! It's time we flew, said Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle was captain and Pickle was crew, and Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew. As higher and higher and higher they flew, Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, over the sun and beyond the blue. Hold on, stay in, I hope we do, cried Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too, never returned to the world they knew, and nobody knows what's happened to dear Ickle me, pickle me, tickle me too. Isn't Shel Silverstein such a creative writer? I love that he made characters with names like Ickle me, pickle me, and tickle me. That's just so silly and fun. Now, Ickle me, pickle me, and tickle me never returned to the world they knew, but could that really happen? No, we are here in this place in this world, and you are important, and you have a place, and that place is, here in Oregon. And so we are so glad you're here. But I wanted to make sure that you kind of can picture in your heads where you are. And there's a lot of different ways that we can talk about where we are in our environment, right? So I could say that I'm at my house. I could say that I'm at the grocery store, but I could also say that I am in Oregon. I'm in a state. I could also say that I live in the United States of America. So one thing that I wanted to teach you today is what that sounds like when we're talking about where we are in the world. So here's the book that I'm introducing to you today, and it is called Me on the Map. And it is by an author named Joan Sweeney, illustrated by Annette Cable. And if you are doing AR reading, it is a 1.8 level book, and it's worth 0.5 points. It's also, the Lexile is J, so that's kind of cool to see. If you're a reader, you can read along with me today. So here is our book, Me on the Map. It has some incredible illustrations that we're going to look at today. Let's follow along. This is me. This is me in my room. This is a map of my room. This is me on the map of my room. Look, I can see her. She's laying there, and she's even got her cat and her rugs. Oh, her door is open. That's a good map. This is my house. This is a map of my house. This is my room on the map of my house. Can you find her room on this map? There it is, my room. My brother's room, bath, my mom and dad's room, kitchen, living room, patio, that means like an outside area, and garage. This is my street. This is a map of my street. This is my house on the map of my street. Can you find her house? Yeah, I think it's the colorful one. Look at how good she did in her colors and the shapes that she drew to match what her house actually looks like. This is my town. This is a map of my town. This is my street on the map of my town. And I remember from one of the past pages that she was on Oak Street. So here is Oak Street. So I see that that's her street right there. This is my state. This is a map of my state. This is my town on the map of my state. Now, we live in Oregon, but she lives in a state called Kansas, and she lives in a city called Topeka. So she has a little marker on the map of her state that shows where she is. If you had a map of Oregon, you could find your city on that map too. This is my country. the United States of America. This is a map of my country. It even says United States of America. This is my state on the map of my country. So she kind of outlined Kansas. Do you know where Oregon is on this map? It's all the way over here. It's yellow in this book. This is my world. It is called Earth. It looks like a giant ball. If you could unroll the world and make it flat, it would look something like this map of the world. This is my country on the map of the world. Here's our country. It's right here, and it's on a continent called North America. This says South America. Antarctica is at the bottom. Africa, Europe, Asia, Australia. So here's how I find my special place on the map. First, I look at the map of the world and find my country. There she is. I like that that map is so big she can lay on it. Then I look at the map of my country and find my state. Then I look at the map of my state and find my town. She's using a tool called a magnifying glass. There's Oregon. Then I look at the map of my town and find my street. And on my street, I find my house. And in my house, I find my room. And in my room, I find me. Just think. In rooms, in houses, on streets, in towns, in countries all over the world, everybody has their own special place on the map. Just like me. Just like me on the map. And if this book was yours, you could write your name, the name of your street, your town, your state, and your country. Back at home, if that's an activity you want to do with your family, I encourage it. Thank you so much for reading that book with me today. You are important, and you have a very important place in this world, especially right here with me today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for stopping by Medford Anywhere Learning TV. I had fun checking in with you on where you were with your mind and your body and your breath and learning about space and time. Come back again soon.
Thanks for tuning in to Medford Anywhere Learning TV. Medford School District is a place where all are learning, and learning is for all.